Black Hawk Down by Mark Bowden.
The literal information that I see when I look at this picture is a helicopter. I also see the words Black Hawk Down in big red print over the helicopter, and it also says a story of modern war. From my background knowledge, I know that a Black Hawk is a type of helicopter that the Army uses. From this, I know that Black Hawk Down probably means that in the story, an Army helicopter crashed, presumably in a dangerous area. With the big red letters, it proclaiming that the book takes place in a war, I feel like the author is trying to get across a feeling of anger, urgency, and intensity. The strongest out of these three was definitely the urgency. The big red letters almost remind me of a big warning sign or as a big flashing exit sign. I think that one metaphor in this picture is a helicopter. It symbolizes, along with the title, the complete badness of the situation. Unfortunately, I can't really think of many big picture responses. The cover is so simplistic that there aren't enough details to remind me of those things.
At liftoff, Matt Eversman said a Hail Mary. Matt Eversman is lifting off on a Black Hawk helicopter, and he said a Hail Mary. The Black Hawk is a military vehicle. He must be going into a dangerous battle. A Hail Mary is a desperate prayer that is used when you're in need or you think your death is near. The tone that gets across in this opening line is really easy to see. It's desperate, scared, and extremely tense. The swell of all those revving engines made the earth tremble and their pulses race. It was stirring to be part of it, the cocked fist of America's military might. Woe to whatever stood in their way. Bristling with grenades and ammos, gripping the steel of their automatic weapons, their hearts pounding underneath their flak vests, they waited with a mixture of hope and dread. They went through last-minute mental checklists, saying prayers, triple-checking weapons, rehearsing their precise tactical choreography, performing little rituals, whatever it was that prepared them for battle. They all knew this mission might get hairy. It was an audacious daylight thrust into the Black Sea, the very heart of Habir Gadir territory in central Mogadishu, and the warlord Aidid's stronghold. The Rangers are about to be dropped into hostile Somalian territory, next to a heavily armed warlord. They are part of the American military, and they think of themselves as the most powerful fighting force in the world. Since it's quote-unquote audacious, it was unprecedented and extremely daring. The brave men are performing little rituals because they're nervous, and that makes the air charged with uncertainty and tension. The most obvious metaphor here is said aloud. The cocked fist of America's military might. Woe to whatever stood in their way. They are the cocked fists of America's military might, and throughout this passage, they seem like the fist is about to go down. The writing style here is, in my opinion, meant to really show tension. The sentences are short and almost percussive.
Black Hawk Down starts by analyzing the Rangers' first lazy 6 weeks in Somalia. It places most of the strong emotions and important events that happened into view. The two most powerful emotions in the Rangers were eagerness for war and pride that they were the most elite fighters in the world. The author is trying to give you background knowledge so the rest of the story makes sense. However, I noticed that when I read on later in the book, it left a lot of things for you to interpret. Although a total of about 3 minutes in the action in the story is covered, because the author explains all of the past emotions and past events in such depth, it takes 10 pages. Finally, it focuses in on a squad leader, Matt Eversman, and how he feels about the battle. Mainly, he worries that two new members of his team will get hurt, and he will have to watch over them personally to keep them safe.
Overall, Black Hawk Down is one of my favorite books. It's really intense, there's a bunch of action, and it's a great story of modern war. However, you've only heard the first little bit. What happens when it all goes south? With 120 men trapped in the streets of a hostile city for 12 hours, who knows what happens? Not you, unless you read it.